Welcome back to Ben's Garage. Another live stream. What's the date today? It is Sunday, the 5th of... I nearly said May. Sunday, the 5th of April. And what a wonderful day it has been. Absolutely blasting the wind outside. But it's been very sunny. I've got to unzip myself. So I just tried a new little intro, messing around with this software, see if I can get my head around it. There's lots of things to learn. It's like this, up the top corner here, up there, hang on, where is it? Up there. I had it on last time, but it's not looking so good up there because... I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me just change that now. Yo, Mr. Dibbles is in the house. Let me move that over that side, look. And you can see it. Ha ha! Bloody marvellous. Yeah, there's lots of little bits and pieces you can do on all this software. I've learnt Photoshop, I've learnt Lightroom, I've learnt Premiere Pro. I'm sort of learning After Effects, because that is a bit tricky. This is all something new, but I'll have to switch that back across in a minute because I've got another little gadget that's going to go on here, because I'm going to try and keep this live stream to 1 hour rather than all the others have been like 3 hours. Yeah, so that's what we're going to try and do. So I'll move that back across the screen in a minute when I put the countdown timer on. But we'll just get warmed up. And yes, it is going very well, thank you. Bloody marvellous weather. We're still locked down, but, you know, we don't notice any difference because we don't go out anyway. Tina's got enough shopping in to last a while. But there you go. Like the Carsoft comparison series, I didn't realise the one program's $500. If you're on about the Gap IID tool, yeah, it is quite expensive. But that thing, it is absolutely fantastic. What it can do on the Range Rover. Ooh, I feel like I'm getting throttled here. The functions that it can do on the Range Rover. Hang on. You have to lock it to one car, so that's a bit of a downside. But you can still read codes and read faults and clear codes and faults on any Land Rover, whatever model, make, engine, you know. The only thing you can do that's locked to one vehicle is flash the ECU, CCF files, all that kind of thing. Preparedness is a virtue. Yes. Oh, I can hear footsteps. Is she coming this way? No, she's putting the kettle on. Bloody marvellous. Those of you who's watching, not last time, maybe the time before, there was a bit of a thing going on about biscuits. Was it last live stream?
Last live stream you had some
Gingernuts, yeah, last live stream we had Gingernuts. Now, for Tina's birthday, I bought her a load of stuff for the kitchen. You know, pasta maker, all bits and pieces like that. And I bought her a biscuit maker. Today, she's used the biscuit maker. Why haven't you done the coil suspension upgrade? Because I like the air suspension. The reason being that being in the wheelchair, if drop the suspension all the way down to access height, it's a damn sight easier getting into. If I was to do a coil spring conversion, I'd want it higher up, obviously, to lift it. So for me, the air suspension is 2 thumbs up because it's easy access. Having said that, the TD6 lowers further than the TD-V8, but it's by the by. I can get in both of them. I probably could get in it if that was on coil spring. Having said, I've not tried to get it in it on off-road height, so I don't know. That might be a bit of a struggle getting in. I'd do it, but it's hard work. Plant potato. Where we've got potatoes in the ground. We've got potatoes in the bins and potatoes in the ground. I've no idea what brand they are or anything, but I've got them off Amazon.de. I was going to get some on eBay, but they wanted like £10 to £15 to post 2 kilos of potatoes. Well, I ain't paying that. Amazon.de, and I think the postage was might have been free of charge. Can't remember. Anyway, it's 2 varieties of potatoes we got. I can't remember what they are. Lander. One's Lander, and the other one's Linda. Now, one of those is a bit of a... It's not rare, but it's like an heirloom potato from like years ago or whatever. And apparently really good harvest yields, and potatoes are good for everything. So that will be marvellous. We've also... Hang on, I'm just... cleverly disguised as an adult. We've got some garlic, hell of a lot of garlic growing out there. We've got some elephant garlic.
not such a clever disguise sometimes.
Back chat from her. We've got some spring onions out there. We've planted some other onions, and we've got some beetroot. And the chilies next door are doing really well. They're in the propagator, heated propagator with a grow light above it. Those chilies are doing really well. So I'm hoping we can move the chilies out of the propagator, because I want to get some more growing, because we've only got about 8-10 plants. Yeah, something like that. They're all super hot. Moraga scorpion, Trinidad scorpion, Carolina reaper, chocolate butt. But then I want to grow some mild jalapenos for everyday. Jalapeno poppers, stuffed jalapenos, you name it, jalapenos, cheese sandwich with jalapenos. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be doing that with a Carolina Reaper. Anyway, yeah, so that's the plan for that. And the greenhouse, that's all going up. As you've probably noticed on the channel, I've put out a video saying that we've got 2 channels now. We've got Ben's Garage, which is obviously this one, which is going to be focusing on the car stuff, and the other one, the Mad Dog Farm. The Mad Dog Farm, because we've got 2 mad dogs, and we've got a mad Tina. Not saying that Tina's a dog or anything, but, you know, she's mad. I hope she don't hear this. I can hear biscuits going on the plate. Yeah, so we're just separating the channels. So if you like all the gardening stuff and all the stuff we do around the house, in the fields and this, that and the other, check out the Mad Dog Farm. It's linked in the thing and on the side of my homepage. But if you just like the car stuff, stick around with Ben's Garage. Oh. Oh.
You're not getting any.
Oh. Homemade biscuit. Hey, bugger off. Go on, get out of it. You're not having none of these, mate. Trouble is with these, they're like a buttery biscuit, so they're not going to be very good for dunking, and I'm not even going to try it, but I will.
Quick, you can. I'll just try it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I might try it actually. Right, let's go quick. That was quick. Oh, that's all right. I'll save them for later. This is very rude trying to live stream whilst eating. Oh, okay. Yeah, so she's done a good job there. More practice required, obviously. Because, you know, we all like a biscuit. Forgot what I was saying now. Tina for the win, yeah. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. As they say. Ludo, do you want to come on the telly, mate? Get off my biscuits. Come here. Look, no, on the telly. Look, Ludo, up here. Look, wave. Ludo, look, up there.
I don't think he's getting anything yet.
If I put them up there, he's looking at the camera now. You're not getting anything off of there, mate, so bugger off.
Ludo.
Go on, up it.
Yeah, we take the bin out.
Bloody dogs, they've got some cheek, haven't they? So, yes, I've got them both in here now. I shouldn't have tried that, really, should I? Yes, we are on lockdown day. Oh, we was locked down on the 17th of March. So will that be 3 weeks on Tuesday? Blimey. We've not noticed a lot of difference. So we still get the same traffic because the farmers are up and down because they've obviously got to feed the cows and do all of what they've got to do. We're not getting the people who are randomly up and down, sort of off to work, come back for lunch, go back to work, come home at night. We don't get that many cars coming past anyway. But the people that do commute up and down, which is probably about 4 or 5 cars, if that, a day, they've not been going up and down. We do see them occasionally. Obviously, they're going shopping, appointments with a doctor or whatever. Plenty of ammo. Oh, yes. I'm not sure as you'd say it was plenty of ammo by American standards because I've watched some American YouTubers are like really into their guns. One chap I was watching ordered 5,000 extra rounds, so he must be shitting himself. No, we've got a little bit of ammo, but not too excessive. We got enough ammo to do what we need to do. Protecting our toilet roll. Thieving bastards. All right. Tina's putting the bin out. Sunday night. Bin goes out on Sunday night because the bin men come round Monday morning and they're still working. So, well, if not, they won't take it. Yeah. So that's one of the services that's still running on this lockdown. The post office are down. How many days were the post office down to? 2?
Down to 3. They're trying to go back up to 4 and have a limited availability facility for people to go and withdraw
Well, yeah.
money.
So the post office was down to 3 days a week, but they're trying to go back to 4 days a week. So I suppose it's just piling up. But then they're going to start opening up the post offices for people to go and withdraw money, because you can have an account with the post office. It's a bit like a bank, I suppose. And a lot of the old dears, obviously up in the town, don't have bank cards because you've got to pay for a bank card in France. It's about €40 a year for you to have a debit card so that you can spend your own money. Thank you very much. But yeah, so the post offices are going to try to be opening them so that some of the old biddies and that who haven't got bank cards can go in and withdraw some cash. So we do get a few services come round. The nurse went past the other day. We was out walking the dog. She went past and bibbed, so she's still out and about, which she would be. And I saw the doctor's car the other day, so she's doing the rounds. I think it's free in the UK as well, so it's only in bloody France. Oh dear. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and keep this live stream to an hour. So let me move that back over there. Like so. Now you should see that go across the screen. There we go. And now I'm going to stick this on. And we're going to count down an hour. Let's see if we can get it all finished in an hour tonight, rather than still sat here at 11:30. So yes, we've been doing a few jobs outside. We was going to go outside today, and there's a ramp out the front so that I can get in the front door. And Dad built it when we first bought this house. It was hard because there's 2 steps to get into the front door, and in the wheelchair that was a bit tricky. We managed it, of course, but Dad built a ramp out of some plywood, and he thought it was marine ply. I didn't have a clue. It turns out it's probably not, because it's all falling apart. So we've got a lot of timber out in the garage. So the plan is to take that ramp out, build a new ramp, but I'm going to build like a staging platform so that I can come out the door, spin round and shut the doors behind me. Whereas at the minute you come out the door and it's straight down the ramp, so I can't turn round on the ramp, put my brakes on to shut the door. Oh dear. God, it sounds like World War III outside. Bloody dogs are at it. Yeah, so that's the plan. So we got out there today and started. We got a tree out the front. You probably might have seen it in some of the videos. It's got some bits all sprouting out the bottom. So we've taken I've got down on the floor with the chainsaw. We cut all them up. But it's so bloody windy out there today. I thought, I'm not going to do that today. So, but yeah, we've done a few jobs. We've got some vegetables planted and cut the grass. I did a video with on the flower mower. I need to order a new engine for that. That bloody flower mower. But there's a choice of shaft sizes, so I had to take all the cover off and the clutch and measure the shaft. Turns out it's 25 millimeters. So then we can order an engine for that. And I did some maintenance on the mower deck on the tractor. Got that all greased up, adjusted the belts, and I went and cut some grass. And then we started working on the TD6, which if you've been watching the videos, that's part 1. Trying to get this intercooler hose off. It looks like it's a bit of a pain in the neck job to do. Well, I know it is a pain in the neck job to do. But if you've watched the video, you'll see how far we've got. We've taken all the covers off. We've taken the inlet manifold off. We're complete with the EGR valve. I thought, you take one hose clip off and another clip, or you take all 4 bolts out. So I just took the pipes off, inlet manifolds off. So now we've got to disconnect the injectors and try and get them out of the head, and then the rocker cover can come off, with the air box that runs down the side, and that's all part of the rocker cover. BMW, in their infinite wisdom, made it really difficult. So down the other side of the engine is acres of space. So when there's some nice weather again, it's due to rain tomorrow, so it won't be tomorrow. So the idea is I'm going to climb up onto the engine and sit upon the slam panel and do the job, because trying to do it, I was standing up, pulling myself up on the car and leaning over, but I was finding muscles that I haven't used in 4 years. And it's been 4 years, because I had a Facebook memory today, actually, from one of my mates that put a post out that he'd just come out of the operating theatre, because he used to work in there doing the same operation that I had, to hear that it just happened to me, and that was 4 years ago to the day. The 4th of April, 2016 is when it happened. So, yeah, I found muscles that I hadn't used for 4 years, and it was getting hard work trying to stand up at the car. And when I stand up on the standing frame, there's a belt that holds me up, so it's not quite so bad. But, no, so that's the plan. Get up on the car, sit on the slam panel, because I can reach it from there. It's just whether these injectors are going to come out easy, because they'll either come out easy or they'll be right arse stewards, and I'll have to buy a tool for doing it, because I haven't got an injector tool. I'm going to have another biscuit. Hope you don't mind. They're quite good. Butter biscuits. I do apologise, but they're sitting there and I can't just look at them. It's the first biscuit I've had for, no, because I was having biscuits on the last live stream. That was 2 weeks ago, so, yeah. That's the first biscuit I've had in 2 weeks. But now the clocks have changed. It's still daylight. Absolutely fantastic. We've been going out after tea time and not doing much, but driving round. Do you guys still enjoy living in France? Oh yes, fan-bloody-tastic. Yeah, I do. You all right, Ludo? What are you doing? I ain't got nothing for you, mate. Yeah, I really don't miss the UK at all, to be honest. Not much to say about it, really. There's pros and cons, I suppose, but no, I do much prefer living over here. Property-wise, you get a hell of a lot more for your money. Standard of living is probably better. I think the healthcare system is absolutely fantastic. If it wasn't for the French healthcare system, I probably wouldn't be alive. According to my mate, who works in the hospital doing the same operations as what I had, he said if it happened to me in the UK, I would have probably been dead. Whether that's true or not, who knows? Because it never happened while I was in the UK. But can't fault the healthcare system. It's absolutely brilliant. And everything else, really. The only trouble is they don't speak English that much. That's the one downside. Find who? Well, yeah. But this French lot, I mean, I've been here this June, is it June I came to France? This June, I'd have been living in France for 11 years. And I still can't speak a word of French. I know enough to get by. I know a lot of words. French bloke said to us once when I was working with my dad over here, he said most French people are as thick as shit. He didn't say it like that, but he said most French people only know 600 to 800 words. So he said if you learn those 600 to 800 words, you'll be fine. Oh, I think I know about 50. No, I know a lot of words, but it's just stringing it together in a sentence. And if Tina's waffling on to them in French and they're waffling on back to her, I know exactly what they're talking about. It's like when the doctors used to come in. When I was in the hospital, the doctors would come in waffling off in bloody French, 100 miles an hour, to the nurses, backwards and forwards. I knew exactly what they were saying. And then they'd turn around to me and ask me something, and I'd just go, oh? My brain would just go blank. And it used to happen as well when I was working with my dad. All his customers were French, and they'd be waffling on backwards and forwards to each other. And I knew exactly what they were talking about. And then they'd turn around and ask me something, and that's it, my brain would just go. But having said that, when we was working, I knew I could speak enough to go into the local Brico and order parts for any of our tools that we had. You get by, don't you? I don't think she knows what decor means. That's a bit of an in-joke, that one. Yeah, but that's the only downside, is understanding what they're saying. Everything else is just bloody marvellous. We've got plenty of land here. It will be a nice house when we've finished it. It's very small, petite, but it was cheap. I think it was cheap, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was cheap. Yeah. Yeah. It's the place to be. I've lost my track now. What was I talking about before that? I've shit for brains again. I've gone blank. You what? Don't be so bloody cheeky. That's a nice cup of tea. Oh, look. It's in a Ben's Garage mug. You can find all those over at bensgarage.org. Cheeky little plug. I actually sold some stickers the other day. That was a bloody marvellous. I've got an email and it says, you've made a sale. And I thought, way! But I was saying earlier, I've set up the second channel. I've not checked it actually, but we was up to nearly 50 subscribers. You see, that channel might get subscribers that have nothing to do with cars. You know, like seeing all the not homesteading, because we're not off grid or anything like that. But we will be doing the vegetables and preserving and cooking and jobs on the house, bits and pieces like that. So people searching for that kind of content won't necessarily be looking on Ben's Garage. So that channel could grow as much as Ben's Garage has, because we're getting pretty close to 3,000 subscribers on Ben's Garage, which is 2 thumbs up. Bloody marvellous. And out of all the content, I've not really done any fixing yet. Oh dear. But no, we're getting there. We was looking the other day to see if we could get some materials delivered from the Brico for doing the garage, getting the garage floor concrete and that. But some places you can order online and you can go and pick it up. We're not sure that they'll deliver, but then you need a good reason to be able to go out in your car, because you've got to print off an attestation stating why you've gone out in your car. and it's got to be a bloody good reason, like going shopping, going visiting the doctor. There's a few other things on there. I don't suppose going to the Bricko to pick up a load of plumbing fittings or a load of electrics to do a job at home would be classed as essential. But I don't know. But I don't think we'll... hello! I don't think we'll be able to get any deliveries just yet until they sort of start unlocking us. As it is at the moment, I would hate to live in a town or an apartment. We're pretty lucky here because, and mum and dad as well, they've got a lot of land over at their place and they've got a lot of jobs to do. And it's jobs that they don't need to be getting materials and stuff for, the same as us. We've got a lot of jobs that we've already got the materials, or it's something that we don't need materials for. So we don't socialise that much. Not that we're miserable gits, but just keep ourselves to ourselves. So really, I mean, Tina only ever used to go out shopping once a week, but she's been getting prepared for this since January. Was it January or before that?
It was probably February because it really kicked off in Wuhan in January.
Yeah, she'd been watching the news, seeing what was going on in China, and she just had a feeling that it was going to get worse and worse, and obviously it has done. So well done for Tina. Well done for Tina. Well done to Tina. We've got prepared. We've got stocked up. We haven't raided the shops for all their toilet rolls. We've got enough. But we wasn't panic buying. When Tina was going shopping, she was just buying a little bit extra than we would have done. But stuff that, not just stuff for the sake of it, stuff that we use. So that if after it, if nothing ever happened, you know, if it all clears up or whatever, and we're all off of lockdown, it's stuff that, oh Christ, I'm not going to eat that. But if you was hungry, you would eat it. But it's all stuff that we would have bought anyway, if you catch my drift. So yeah, it doesn't affect us really. It does to a certain extent because we can't get deliveries for like the garage and stuff like that. I'm desperate to get this garage done because every time I say to Tina, do you know where such and such is? Do you know where such and such screwdriver is? Do you know where my hammer is? Oh, it's just all in boxes in the barn next door here from when we moved over, because the removal company brought my toolbox, but they didn't want it with tools in. They said I had to empty the tools out. Oh, bloody hell. So we had to put all the tools into boxes. Boxes are still in there. So it'd be nice to get the old get the garage done and get all my tools set up in there. It's just, it would be a delight to be able to go to my toolbox, slide the drawer open and get a screwdriver. You can... Oh, message retracted. I was reading that. But yeah, so it's just the weather now. We've got some nice weather coming up. I think we've got rain tomorrow. So it'll be a bit of an indoor day. See what we can get up to indoors. Once we've got the ramp done outside, another indoor project, I'm going to start doing my island thing in the kitchen. And because I've got a 5 burner gas hob to sink into a bit of worktop, so we're going to build an island, nice sturdy legs on it. Infill it with we've got some panels that match the kitchen cupboards and all that, so that'll all match in nicely. So that'll be another job, but we don't really want to be wasting the good weather. So when it's good weather, we'll get ourselves outside and do what we can out there. And there's a lot to do out there. We need to pump out the dog's paddling pool. Tina, I was really rough last year, and Tina wanted to dig a hole for the dogs, put some water in it so they can go and paddle in it, because it does get hot over here in the summer. And while I was ill, she got on the digger. First time she'd ever been on a digger, first time she'd ever used one. But she managed to dig a hole, put tarpaulin in it, filled it up with water. Now we want to dig it out a bit bigger, square the sides off, and have a bit of a sort of shallow, chamfered shallow end so the dogs can get in it nice and easy. But it's full of water, so we don't want to waste that water. So we've moved the two of the big tanks. We've moved at this end of the house, so we're going to pump the water out of that pond into the tank, so that can go on the vegetables. And then we can get round there and dig this pond out and get it all light, get the tarpaulin all in it nice. And what we was using last year, we've got a big Karcher wastewater pump. Basically, it's like a submersible pump, but it's got big holes in it. It'll pump up to 20 mil stones. I don't know how it works, but it's been bloody fantastic. But Tina puts that in the pond and has the pipe running out and going back in. But I think it's a bit vicious. Excuse me. Tina put bubbles in our roast pork tonight. It's giving me gas. So I'm going to I'm going to make there's a bloke on YouTube called David Pagan Butler, I think his name is, and he does these organic pools, and he uses air stones, aquarium air stones, and lengths of waste pipe. So the waste pipe's fixed to the side somehow, and he drops an air stone down, and it pushes the water up and out. Because all we want to do is just keep the water sort of circulating. Don't want pumps, filters, and anything like that. So that's what I'm looking into doing on that out there. So that's another project, which I will film it, and we'll put that on the Mad Dog Farm channel. That's what so much going on. Let's have another slurp of tea. That's better. Wet the whistle. Yeah. What was I going on to say? Can't remember now. I've measured the, as I was saying earlier, the engine on the flower mower. We had to take the cover off and take the clutch off because we need to measure the shaft before we order a new one. When we got that old engine off, I'm going to have a look at it because I'm not sure where the oil's leaking out of. If it's just leaking out of the filler bung, something's hit that from underneath because it's squashed it and it's put a crack up the threads. But it didn't look like it was coming from that. It looked like it was coming from underneath. But we'll have a look because the filler bung, it's got one on the front and one on the back. That's just like a crankcase, and I've seen those on eBay. So if it is just that, and we've got a spare engine, I might build something for bezzing around the garden with, like a little off-road go-kart or something. That'll be quite a laugh. I was thinking about this the other day because we had a go-kart at school, and I'm not sure what horsepower engine it had on it. It was a similar sort of engine, Honda engine. It might only have been like a 6 horsepower or something like that. I mean, this is 13 horsepower. So, on a nice little go-kart, it might be quite rapid going around the old garden when the garage is done. So, yes. I can't believe it's still daylight out there. 20 to 9? Flipping heck. Have you turned the heating up, Tina? No. It's getting warm in here. Flipping heck. I know the computer's churning away at a bit of speed. I've had to turn the fan up. But, yeah, if it's been really windy today, if it wasn't for that wind, I think it'd have been quite hot out there. I think. What day are we due to get up to 20 degrees? A couple of days. Forecast. Further on in the week, we're looking at getting up to 20 degrees, maybe a bit higher. I got in the car the other day because we went for a drive around the field. I didn't print off my attestation because it's our land. And it was 22 degrees driving around. So yeah, it is getting quite warm. But also, I don't know if you was watching the live stream 2 weeks ago. Mick Ness was on, and he was chatting away in the comments, and we was talking about the pills that I'm on. I don't know if they keep me alive or not, but anyway, I've stopped taking one of them. And I've been as right as rain ever since. Touch wood. Yeah, no dizzy spells, but I've been getting hot outside, drinking plenty of water. I think we might have cracked it, but I'm just going to have to check. I've got a blood test in 3 months' time. So I'm just going to have to, when the blood test results, when the nurse comes out and does it and that, and we get the results back, because the lab send the results back to me and they send a set of results back to the doctor. I'll be able to see if my blood sugars are all within the brackets. Because those pills was really doing my head in. They was making me go dizzy, feel sick. Oh dear. But yeah, so I've stopped taking them. I cut them down to start with, because I was on 3 pills a day, and I cut them down to 1 a day, and now I've stopped taking them altogether. And when I get hot now, I don't get dizzy, and I don't. It was that bad. I'd have to hold on to the wheelchair, thinking I was going to fall out of it. It was like, whoa, what's going on here? And that was happening all through last summer. So hopefully this year I can stay off of those pills, because blood sugars come back down again, and operate normally through the summer. Because some days it was getting so hot that you couldn't go outside anyway. We was having to sit indoors with the shutters closed, with the fans on, and because when it gets hot over here, it gets hot. But so you see, the year before, when I wasn't on those pills, I was getting in the greenhouse and it was like 40 plus degrees, and I was getting a bit of a sweat on, but I wasn't having funny turns. So we might have cracked it. Fingers crossed. Still sunny out there. Not sunny, but still daylight. So yeah, all good stuff. Tina's eye is all... I wouldn't say it's been fixed, but it's all healing up nicely. You've only got a couple of days of drops left, haven't you? Yeah, she's she doesn't have to have the patch on overnight now, which is just as well, because she looks something with that on. And when she was doing stuff like out in the garden, we was sort of breaking all the clods up for planting and stuff like that. When she was exerting herself, she could feel like a bit of pressure in her eye, so she had to stop what she was doing. That doesn't happen anymore, so that's all good. She's got a couple more days where she's got to put these drops in. We're not sure what they're for, whether it's just to clean any crap out or whatever. But yeah, so all good stuff. Her optician's appointment got cancelled because she had the operation on the 17th of March, and was it the 14th of April? She had an optician's appointment on the 14th of April to obviously check for a new prescription for glasses. Because although she's had a new lens put in her eye, that's got its own prescription. She gets a little card and it tells you what the prescription is for the lens that they've put in. I suppose you take that along to the optician because she can see long distance now, but still close up. You need your glasses, don't you? Yeah. So for close, Yeah. So for close up work, she still has to have glasses, but she can see out both eyes now, which is a bit of a result. She's probably got to go and have the other one done, but I don't think she's too worried at the moment. I was like, I've got to go and see some specialists, heart specialists, kidney specialists. They was on about a neurosurgeon, weren't they? For my nerves. Because you get on my bloody nerves. So a neurologist. Is that what they're called? And the doctor was supposed to be sorting these appointments out, but I said I ain't going into any bloody hospital at the moment. Sod that. We'll wait until it's all blown over or whatever, and then we'll go and see a specialist. 4.4 diesel, great bit of kit. Few problems with the DPF. Now, we've got a 3.6 TDV8. It's a 2010. It's a funny changeover year because it's got all the new dashboard in it and everything. The TFT dash. On the 2010 model, it was still the 3.6. But on the up till 2009, all the 2006 to 2009 all had Brembo brakes. The 2010 didn't. We've got the 2010. So we've got the 3.6 TDV8, but it's the facelifted version with the TFT dash in it. And then the obviously 4.4 came out after that. But when I was looking for our car, it was advertised as it was a Range Rover 3.6 TDV8 Vogue SE DPF, and I was like, oh shit, DPF filter, here we go. And I thought, it's not done many miles, it's fairly new for us. It'll be all right. So anyway, we bought it, got it home, and I was fit those chrome side tubes on it. I thought, well, I'll have a look while I'm under here. And it's only got 2 cats on it. There's no DPF filter. I thought, bloody, bring it on. Result. But I think it even says on the carte grise, which is like the French logbook, I think it says DPF on there as well. But it's never been touched. So it's one of them funny years that I think whether the regulations in France weren't caught up with the UK and everywhere else, which is normally the case with France. They're always behind with everything. I think we've got away with it, basically. We haven't got a DPF filter. And apparently now, our 3.6 makes as much power and torque as a standard 4.4. And it definitely feels like it. We had it remapped, and it is a hell of a lot more lively. And the strange thing is, even Tina said, she said it's easier to keep it at the speed limit. And I was like, how does that work? Anyway, I started driving it, and because she took it to the place to get it done. And because he remapped it while she waited and everything. And she drove it home. She said, I think it feels different. Anyway, I got out in it and took it for a drive. Oh, Christ, that is bloody different. And she said it's easier to keep it at the speed limit. And I thought, perhaps that's psychological. Anyway, we was going over to Mum and Dad's. And because obviously the national speed limit in France now is only 80 kilometres an hour. I mean, in the Range Rover, I mean, you can drive along and you look down, you're doing 110 kilometres an hour. It's so easy because they're so quiet, so smooth. You just don't know how fast you're going. But now you can get it up to speed. It's in top gear and it sits at 80. And whether it's because the EGR valves have been blanked off and deleted, and obviously the remap, it's got a bit more. It's not noisier, but you can hear it. Sort of, it's got a bit of a, not a growl because it's still really quiet inside the car when you're driving it. I can't really describe it, but for some reason it's easier to keep it at 80 kilometres an hour now, whereas before, every time you look down, you was doing over 100 kilometres an hour, which, you know, in itself isn't very fast, but it's breaking the bloody law, isn't it? Not that makes any difference to the French. If you sit at 85, 90 kilometres an hour, they still overtake you. Just in a bloody rush to get everywhere. And if they're not overtaking, they're sitting right on your bloody bumper. But yeah, that was a good job done getting that remapped. We've noticed a massive difference in fuel consumption. Because before it only used to say 400 and something kilometres to a tank, didn't it? Yeah, we used to fill the tank up, and I know it's not accurate, but the onboard computer, you know, it tells you how many miles you got left before you got to fill it up. We'd fill it up, and it would say 495, 500 kilometres, and I thought, wow, that's a bit crap, really. I know it's diesel, I know it's a V8 diesel, but we fill it up now, and it says, obviously the way that we've been driving it, which is no different to the way we was driving it before, but whether it takes into account the revs and stuff, now when we fill it up, it's almost 800 kilometres to a tank. So, to me, that's a bit of an improvement in miles per gallon. Or litres, no. Money appears to be no object to a wealthy couple like you. Have you seen this wallpaper? We're wealthy. We've got a crack in the wall over there. The floor in the other room has sunk by about 6 inches and it's about ready to collapse. We've got a nice kitchen though. Yeah. Was it 5 years we've had that? Yeah, we've had that kitchen for 5 years because we bought that kitchen for the old house and never got round to putting it in because we was both working and, you know, pretty much 7 days a week. So no time for putting it in. We would have got round to it because I'm sure Dad would have come over and helped us. But so we never got round to it. And then obviously I ended up in hospital and then we decided to move. So we said, I wonder if that kitchen will fit in this new house. So, yes. Decent kitchen. Well, it was still quite expensive. Not silly money expensive, IKEA expensive, because that's where it came from. But I'm quite surprised with the old IKEA kitchen, because it's quite heavy and well built. Yeah, it's not bad. But a bit different to old MFI years ago. MFI, flat pack furniture. Lovely jubbly. Oh, I'm going to have another biscuit while we're here. They're not bad. That's right. It's better to be healthy than wealthy. I'm neither of them. Eh? Well, we're not poor. Yeah, I know. see, all this money that I'm earning on YouTube keeps us in this lavish lifestyle. We're getting a butler next week. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that. Tina just shouted out, we'll be starving more like. We don't do YouTube for the monetary benefits. But I will tell you, I do earn a bit of money out of YouTube. I think this month I earned €60. So I hope you don't mind these little adverts that run in our videos. But if you work out the hours that I put into filming and editing and all bits of, carrying all the gear outside, bringing it all back in, bits and pieces. And if you worked out what I earn over a month, I would say it's probably about 5p an hour. Maybe. I don't really take my time into account. But we do it because we enjoy it. That is why, basically. Let's have a drink. Getting a bit dry. Some bloody biscuits. So, look, we've got 20 minutes left on the clock. See if we can get finished in 20 minutes. When you get live streamed, it does go quite fast, actually. And by that, sometimes, or the last few times that I've done it, we get to 3 hours and it's like, oh, where's 3 hours just gone? So I've tried to limit myself to an hour tonight. So we've got 20 minutes left. You are? If we go over, we go over. But anyway, I might have run out of things to... what's the prognosis for health issues? Who knows? I'll be all right, yeah. When I come out of hospital in 2016, did we see the kidney doctor a year after? Yeah. I had... Because all sorts went wrong inside my body. We had a few specialists. We had a heart specialist. We had a kidney specialist because my kidneys packed up when I was on dialysis. Can't remember what that bloke was that did that nerve test. Was that a neurologist? Eh? A neurologist. They used to bloody zap me with electric to see if it would send him things up and down my nerves. Didn't really work. Anyway, we went back to see the kidney doctor a year after. He said I'd had scans and they'd pumped some dye in and they'd x-rayed my kidneys and this, that and the other. My kidneys one kidney's working at 75%, the other one's working at about 40%. Might be 35, 40%. He said they'd probably last a lifetime. We hope. Fingers bloody crossed. Having said that, my brother did say I could have one of his kidneys, didn't he? Yeah, the cheeky git. He said, "Oh, I can have one of his kidneys if he can have my tractor." Because we had a John Deere tractor at the time when we was working, cutting grass. He said, "Yeah." He said, "If he needs one of my kidneys, he says I'll do a swap for the tractor." Oh, thanks for that. Cheeky sod. So anyway, the old kidney specialist said that if I'm careful with salt intake was a big one. Be careful with salt and don't take ibuprofen anymore because that's not good for your kidneys. Look after yourself. They should be all right. The heart doctor, she said everything was fine. we'll see you in the year after. And they were supposed to have sent me an appointment, but they never did. A neurologist, when we went to see him, when I was in... did they test my legs in intensive care in Ongalam? Yeah. When I was in intensive care in the hospital, the woman came round, she was testing... They put these sensors on your legs and they zap you with electric. And they can tell if your nerves are working. So she did that while I was in the hospital. And then we had an appointment to see her a few months after I got out of hospital. We went to see a neurologist and he did the same. And he said that the results were still the same as when I was in intensive care. So they hadn't got any better. They still aren't any better. I can move my legs. I can feel my legs if I touch them. Slap them, if somebody else touches my legs, I can feel it. Because the doctor said to it, we went back to see one of the doctors at the physio centre, and he said, it's something to do with the nerves. He says, you won't be able to feel it. And he said, can you feel it? I said, yeah, I can feel it. He said, no. He says, So anyway, he started drawing on my foot. He said, close your eyes. He was drawing circles and drawing a cross with his finger. And he said, tell me what I'm drawing. I said, circle, cross. Got it right every time. He went, He says, you've got the sensation of touch, but not pain. I can't feel pain in my legs, which was a bit of a result when I pulled my big toenail out, because I knew that was going to hurt. And in the back of my mind, it was throbbing, but I couldn't feel a bloody thing. It looked a mess when I was looking down at it. So when we moved to this house, we got got our new doctor. The nurses come round and everything. Absolutely brilliant over here at this house. The doctor was supposed to be sorting out some rendezvous for a kidney specialist, heart specialist, and a neurologist. Then she went and broke her leg, so she was off work. And then now she's back to work. All this is kicked off. The coronavirus. So it's like I said to Tina, I don't want to be going into hospital to see a specialist when all this is kicking off. So, what do you mean they wouldn't have me? Yeah, it's non-essential. So yeah, that's that. So when all this does blow over and everything gets all cleaned up and that, we'll get up to the hospital and see some specialists and see how we're going on. Because it's been 4 years. 4th of April it happened, 2016. So it's 4 years and 1 day. Two left. What are they barking at? I think because I made a noise in here, they thought it was something out there. So they've gone tearing outside, having a bit of a turn. Because they like that, our bleeding dogs. Thick as shit and twice as wide. So, yes, all is going tickety-boo. Seeing what's going on here. Here he comes. All right, stupid. Come up here, mate. Come up here. No, not over there. Look, up here. Look, up here. Up here. Look. Say hello to all the people at home. Look. that on there? Ludo. You are a plonker. Plonker number 1. Ludo. Devastating. Probably for my family and Tina. Oh, charming. For me, I just had a bit of a kip. Apparently, all the time it was going on, I was awake, but I don't remember any of it. And I even went in a bloody helicopter. Oh, and I can't even remember it. I remember last thing I remember was I sat on the computer, checking my emails, and a pain went straight down. And Tina was just about to go out with the dogs. And I said, oh, hang on a minute. I said, don't go out. I said, you might have to call the doctor. Because it didn't feel right at all. So anyway, it was getting worse and worse. I think she said I was getting a bit of fever and this, that, and the other. So I went through into the other room. She called... Did you call the ambulance first?
I started to call the doctor and you said you groaned or something, so I went straight to the...
Yeah. She started phoning the doctor and then I started making some funny noises, so she called the ambulance instead. Anyway, I remember getting on the floor because I felt rough. And then, obviously, the ambulance crew turned up and I remember them trying to get me to take a pill, which Tina reminded me of, but I sort of remember that. Don't remember anything after that. It's a bit weird because I've got some things in my head of what might have happened, but I don't know if that was the drugs that I was on and I was just dreaming it. Because I seem to remember getting to the first hospital and they put me in a scanner and I got stuck. And the doctor had to come in at the other end because my shoulders was getting stuck in the tube. That might have happened. It might not. I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't know anyone who was there to ask. But one of the doctors was English. But that's quite possible as well. So the next thing I remember was being wheeled in a corridor and held in a corridor. Now, I vaguely remember that, but obviously, yet again, I don't know anyone that was there to confirm it. But the helicopter picked me up from one airport and took me to Bordeaux. So I'm just in my head. That's where they was waiting, because they had to get an ambulance to take me from the hospital to the helipad, which is just the other side of the car park. So whether that wait in the corridor was waiting for the ambulance to come and get me, I don't know. But after that, I was out of it for 10 days. Was it 10 days? Yeah, 10 days, bit of kip. Oh, some well-deserved rest. Yeah, Mum and Dad was on holiday. Oh, shit. It was their 40th wedding anniversary, and I think Mum was just about to turn 60, so we paid for them to go to New Zealand to see my Auntie Anne. And they was out there for a fortnight, and then they got the phone call and had to come home. I think my sister came... Lorna came out first, didn't she? Lorna, my sister, and one of my sisters and my brother came over, and then my other sister came with, because Mum and Dad had a rigmarole getting from New Zealand back to France. They have to go to Las Vegas. Las Vegas or Los Angeles or somewhere. They had to go to America, hang around in the airport, fly back to the UK, and then stay the night, and then come from the UK to France. And then when they came from the UK to France, they came with my other sister. So it might have been quite devastating for them. Yeah, I had some pretty weird dreams. Well, they didn't seem like dreams at the time. I suppose that was the morphine that they was pumping in me. But yeah, I've seen some pictures, and it looks like I'm hooked up to the Starship Enterprise. The room in intensive care you could just about get up the side of the bed. There was machines all round and all behind me, and pipes going in, pipes coming out. Yeah, and then it was that was April, and I didn't come home till August. That was weekends. They let me out of weekends in August. And then from then on, it was weekends at home. Right through till November, wasn't it? And then November, they put me on day hospital. This was at the rehab centre. So from November, it was on day hospital. And then on December the 16th, they said, see you later. And that was it. Never been back. Yeah, they are a bit crazy. The old French. We're on a T-junction here. I know it's a country. We're out in the countryside. We've got a T-junction. And the amount of people that drive in the ditch going around the corner is unbelievable. And some of them, they're still driving now. It's not exactly essential what they're doing. But anyway, I think he's just being nosy. He keeps going around. He drives around, and I don't know what he's looking at. 2 wheels down in the ditch every time. On both sides of the road. One time he'll go on one side, another time he'll go a bit tight and get his other wheels in the ditch on the other side. Yeah, if they was going any quicker, they'd have a bit of a doodah out here. Strange lot, the French. So I compare our TDV8 to the TD6 we've got. And TD6 is, when it was new, was 177 horsepower. Whoa. The TDV8, the 3.6, should have been 272 horsepower, but I think the 2010 was 268 horsepower. Obviously, we've had ours remapped, and I'm sure it said after it was remapped, it went up to 310 horsepower, which is almost what the 4.4 should be. I think the 4.4 should be 313 horsepower and about 700 newton meters of torque, whereas ours was 600 newton meters of torque, but now it's 700 and something, so it's pretty much on par with the 4.4 now. But I've heard a lot of people say that obviously the 4.4's bigger engine, got more power, but where did I hear it? It was Harry's Garage, actually. He was doing a review on the TDV8, and he's driven both, and he said that the 3.6 with the twin turbos feels like it's got more punch when you nail it, whereas the 4.4's got that daft little turbo and a big turbo. Obviously it works. He said it didn't feel like it had the punch. I've not driven a 4.4, so I can't comment on that. I'm just going on what I've heard. But yeah, it is a bloody lovely car. Ho ho. I think, yeah, I mean, if I had all the money in the world, I think I'd still stick with my old Range Rover. I'm not even struck on the new ones. Thanks.
I'd have a Granada or
Oh, God. I suppose because you got your Panda now, haven't you?
yeah, which was the main car. Oh no, I want the hearse.
Oh, God.
Probably don't go into that one at the minute.
No, you might get a lot of business. Yeah, Tina's dream car. Obviously, number one is the Panda, which she's got now, so that's crossed off the list. Have they got to be estates?
Eh?
Have they got to be an estate?
Yes. It's got to be a Daimlerhurst.
Oh. Either
Mark 1 Cortina estate.
the Mark 1.
Yeah.
Well, they're not the really old ones.
Yeah. Got lots of chrome on.
Mark 1 Cortina Estate
Or a Granada. I don't know what year they were.
or a Granada Estate. I ain't fixing them. Or she wants a Daimler hearse. Don't know why. Who knows? Crazy. She's bloody crazy. I can see you. She's
I can see you. I can see 3 of you.
free.
Because I can see the screen.
Oh, you had me confused then. No. Well, look, we're on 54 seconds. 40 seconds. So, what time are we on? How can that... Oh, because I set the timer after I'd already started it. I looked at the time, thought, well, I've set it for an hour, but I started at 8 o'clock, and it's 9:15 now. How does that bloody work? So, hitting what? Oh, hi, he says, hi, Tina.
Oh.
That's Dwayne.
Hey?
Dwayne,
Oh, hello, Dwayne.
Mr. Dibbles.
I was going to type something to him, but I never got around to it.
Oh,
Too busy reading the news.
yeah. Oh, time's up. What's going to happen now then?
Bang!
It's not going to self-destruct. But,
You better reset it for another hour.
oh, no.
Oh, you're right.
I'll just take it off and just...
Waffle.
I don't waffle. Predictive text, yes, isn't it? I was trying to spell something on the iPad the other day, and it was doing my head in. Kept coming out of all sorts of random things. Sometimes it's good, other times it's crap. And especially when it's trying to get you to do American spellings as well. You do not spell tyre with an I. I'm sorry, it's Tyre. Colour has a U in it. Yeah, favourite. Favour.
You do not spell criticise. Is it criticise?
Oh, don't they put a Z where there should be an S? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, bye for now. Dwayne. Yeah, I suppose I'm running out of things to say now, so...
Whoa! First time for everything.
What do you mean, whoa?
Write it in the diary.
Oh, she's taking the piss now. You're getting too big for your boots, Tina.
Is that right?
I don't know. You just can't get the staff, can you?
Do you want more biscuits or not?
No, I've still got one.
No, I mean as in I'll make you some more.
Oh yeah.
Another time.
Yeah, we'll definitely have those biscuits again. Was it quite nice?
I'm going to say I'm going to try some. I might try some with coconut in and some with chocolate next time.
Oh. Will that go through the machine?
What, the coconut?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's squishy, it's desiccated stuff. And the chocolate, I'm going to grate it.
Oh. Don't know if you heard that. We've got coconut biscuits and chocolate biscuits. Anyway. Yeah, I think I've said all I'm going to say for tonight. We've gone through the lockdown. We've gone through the cars. We've gone through what we've been doing. We've gone through my health and wealth. So I think I'm going to knock it on the head for tonight. Thank you all for coming. Hope you've all enjoyed random nonsense that comes out of my gob. And we'll see what we can get up to in the next few days. Do please check out the other channel, the Mad Dog Farm. I think there's links to it. If you go on my homepage, on the Ben's Garage homepage, down where it says other channels or something, it's down there. If you want to see other stuff that we get up to that's not car related, pardon me. Oh, I do apologise. Yeah, if you want to watch stuff that's not car related, it'll be over on the other channel. I'll keep doing my live streams on this channel because it's just easier. It's all set up now. Can't be doing and messing about with too many different things. So I'm going to sign off and go and chill out, I think. So yeah, thanks for coming along. Thanks for joining in. We'll catch you. I don't know when we'll do the next one. If you get bored while you're on lockdown, let me know on the community thing or wherever, and we'll do one maybe next week, or if not, I'll do another one in a fortnight's time, just to check back in with all you lovely people out there, see how you're getting on with this lockdown, and that's about it. So from me and the Hobbit in the other room, who's just made me another cup of tea, it's bye for now.